What's going on, everyone? Chargers Now is presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Will Ortner. I hope everyone is having a happy 4th of July, celebrating the holiday the way that it should. Happy 250th to America. Also, happy 4th of July to everyone. Hopefully you're enjoying a couple of hot dogs, hamburgers, or whatever you enjoy having. And hopefully everyone is having a safe 4th of July. I thought it'd be fun today on the holiday to go through and look at the different players that could end up making this Chargers roster because, well, I'm just going to be honest with you. I need football to be here. I'm at a point now where I'm tired of talking about hypotheticals. I'm tired of talking about rumors. I want to talk about the real thing. I'm going to have to wait, 2-3 weeks before training camp really gets underway, but it is going to start this month. So I thought it would be fun to take a hypothetical look at who I think right now are in the best position to make this 53-man roster. If you're excited for the 2026 NFL season to start, go in and like today's video. You're a football junkie. You're a football sicko just like me. If you're watching this show, you live, eat, die Chargers football. But I will say this. I'd like real football. Let's look at the QB room first. I got 2 quarterbacks that can make this team. Now, this is a little bit of a bold stance, especially with the ability for the Chargers, if they really wanted to keep 3 quarterbacks. But I think it's going to be Justin Herbert and DJ Uiagalelei. Now, my reasoning for this is, Justin Herbert is top 10, top 8 quarterback in the National Football League. We all know where he's going to be. But there's going to be a position battle right now for that QB2 spot. And DJU has been absolutely fantastic, man. You looked at who had the best offseason for the Los Angeles Chargers, and by all reports, it seems to be that DJU has been absolutely balling out and putting himself in the best position possible to make this squad. I love that for him, man. Now, Lance is going to have to battle him out. He's not a bad quarterback, but it certainly feels like maybe there's going to be a surprise quarterback number 2 in Los Angeles. Next, let's look at that RB depth chart, and I think it's pretty simple what this depth chart is going to be for the Los Angeles Chargers. You're going to keep 3 running backs and then, of course, a fullback. Alec Ingold, he's not going anywhere. We already knew, of course, that Mike McDaniel wanted him. He made it very clear. He had wanted signs all throughout the Chargers facility. That guy is going to be on this team. When you look between Hampton, Mitchell, and Vidal, it's very clear that you have 3 quality running backs here. Now, the first 2 are probably going to be your main backs, with Omarion Hampton being more of your bruiser, although he's not afraid to get out into space and really break away from guys. And you're going to look at Keaton Mitchell as being more of your explosive play running back. When I look at that running back room, I think it's just a lot of fun. I think you got guys who have shown a lot on this Chargers team, just what they can do and how talented that they are. And so I'm excited to see what this running back room is going to be able to do under new offensive coordinator Mike McDaniel. Which Chargers position group are you most excited to see? Let me know down below in our comment section. I'm very interested on your opinion on what group is the best and the most exciting and the flashiest. I'm not going to say that the running back room is by far and away the best room or the room that I'm most excited to see, but I'm certainly excited. I think the room I'm most excited to see is probably that edge rusher room. Let's look at the wide receivers on this team. Now, you're going to notice it is a much smaller number of players that could potentially be on this crew. But to me, when I look at Johnston and McConkey, they've proven that they can have success in the National Football League. Trey Harris, I think there's a real good chance for him to have a big breakout year. Now, I do have Davis making this squad, which is probably shocking to some people, especially with kind of the redundancy there with Brendan Thompson. But I do think that Davis has a real shot of making this team just because of the style of offense, of course, that new offensive coordinator Mike McDaniel wants to run in Los Angeles. Also, make sure that you watch out for Keandre Lambert-Smith. I think there is a decent chance that he ends up making this team over Davis to kind of block out some of that redundancy. But it is going to be a very fun crew there that I think is going to run this team in Los Angeles at that wide receiver position. Another fun crew to watch. We got more to discuss on the program, but first, I need to let you know that today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 sports picks app and is the best place to win cash while watching sports. With the baseball season in full swing, there's no better time to cash in with our friends at Prize Picks. And I'll tell you this, the app is really easy to use. To qualify for a Prize Picks lineup, pick 2 to 6 players and select more or less on stat projections, including hits, home runs, strikeouts, and several others across all sports. One thing I love is the new social feeds feature, where you can share Prize Picks with your friends and copy lineups with a single click. You can actually follow me on the app, at BigWill7774, to see all of my lineups. I have a lineup for the football action going on later on this year. Justin Herbert, more on his pass yards. Quentin Johnston, more on his receiving TDs. Rashid Shaheed, more on his receiving yards. New user offer. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup to receive $50 in lineups. That's code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup to get an extra $50 in lineups with Prize Picks. Clickable link to download the app is in the comments and description. All right, so let's go in greater detail now on this tight end room. Now, I have the Chargers only keeping 3 tight ends, but it's important to note that Alec Ingold, if needed to, could use some of that H-back or wing position if needed, or if that's what the Chargers decide to do during certain looks. Now, what'll be fun, in my opinion, as you look at this tight end room, is just the different ways that this Chargers team is going to use this crew. Between Gadsden, Kolar, and David Njoku, I think you got a bunch of guys that can block their you-know-what's off, but really can catch the football. And you're going to see a lot of 12, and I think you're going to see a lot of 13 personnel used for this Los Angeles Chargers team. I think the more that you look at what they're going to be asked to do, I think there's a real good shot at the Chargers having a lot of success with that tight end unit, and honestly, a big reason why the offense is going to do so well. Let's look at the offensive line depth chart. I got 10 guys over there. Rashawn Slater, Kyode Owosika, Tyler Biadasz, Cole Strange, and Joe Alt. Obviously, to me, those are going to be the guys holding it down. Now, you're going to notice there is no backup center, but really the backup center is Jake Slaughter. I have a bit of an upset. Now, I am an Oregon guy, so sometimes I can be a bit biased towards my Oregon guys, but I do think that Alex Harkey has a good shot of making this team. Now, this group, I think they will be a better unit than what was there previously, but if this Chargers team is going to be any good at all, if they have any hope, any chance, any at all, at going on a run and winning the AFC West, being the top team in the AFC, going to the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl, the offensive line just simply has to play better. When we look at the new guy calling the plays over there at OC, I think it is important to realize just how talented of a play caller that Mike McDaniel is. He is innovative. You're going to see a lot of 12 personnel, and the reason why you'll see that is because it keeps the offense balanced, and I think that's going to allow this Chargers team to have the freedom and ability to really be unpredictable. Let's go over to the defensive side of the football now. When we look at the defensive line for the Chargers, I think you got Jamaree Caldwell, Dalvin Tomlinson, Teair Tart, Barrett as well on this crew. I think between the 5 guys that you have there for the Los Angeles Chargers, you can go in a multitude of different ways with these guys. It feels almost like they are all, I don't want to say the same guy, but you can see basically all 5 of those guys play the D-end, nose tackle, and defensive tackle position for this team. They feel pretty interchangeable, and that is a good thing. Now, look, it would be, in certain situations, a bit aggressive to play certain guys in certain spots, but it does feel like they can move around all over. Who is your sleeper to make this Chargers team? As we're going through the 53-man roster projection, I've thrown a couple guys up that maybe some other Chargers influencers and content creators would not throw up. Who's your guy that you're not seeing on my list, or maybe you are seeing them on my list, and you're saying that guy has to make this team? Let's look at that linebacker position now. Now, our linebacker depth chart is going to include the interior too, as well as our edge rushers. So make sure that you're paying attention to that. I got 5 edge rushers as well as 5 interior linebackers, so that makes this group at 10 total. Thule and Tucker are going to be there manning the one side, while it's going to be Khalil Mack, Mesidor, and Kennard on the other. I really like what all of those guys are going to be able to do. Perriman, Henley, Wax, Dye, and Phillips. Obviously, another really strong crew here. You got a couple of older guys in Perriman and Mack. You got some younger stars in Thule and Henley. And then you got a couple of guys that really have not proven anything yet, but all signs and reports this offseason tell us that they have been performing really well and performing at a high level. I can't wait to watch this defense. I'm excited to see what new defensive coordinator Chris O'Leary is going to be able to do. We'll talk about him more in a moment. But I just look at that linebacker crew, and I think the world of them. And I really do think there's a good shot that you see a lot of big-time plays, big-time moves, big-time decisions made from that crew, and they're going to be able to really push that team forward in a way that I don't know others will be able to on other teams. Let's look at the defensive back room. I thought it'd be easier. Let's just combine them all. No looking at the corners, no looking at the safeties by themselves. Slam them together. Obviously, you got Still, James, Bolden, Jefferson, and Hart really manning down that main starting crew. I really like what Mickens and Smith have been able to do at those safety positions. Genesis Smith specifically. Feels like that guy is popping off every single time I look at a new update for this team. Next, you want to look at those corners. I think that Hart and Still are really going to be able to grow into the roles that they have. Don't be shocked if you see Jackson take on a bigger role as well and more of a mentorship type of role. Again, this group has to grow, but I think they have the ability to do that. You don't have anyone that really jumps off the page to you right now where you go, wow, they are unbelievably talented. They are so much ahead of everybody else. But I certainly think that there is a decent chance that you can see some real success here with this crew. Lastly, let's go over to that ST depth chart. Right now, when you look at the main three guys, Cameron Dicker, J.K. Scott, and Josh Harris, they're going to be holding it down. We're not going to really look at the kick returners and punt returners because those guys, of course, are already on the team. Although Davis, there is a chance that if he were not to make the squad, you'd see some other guys jumping up rather quickly over him. Now, in my opinion, I think you got the best kicker in the game in Los Angeles, and that, of course, is Cameron Dicker. I think that he is an unbelievable kicker, and you should be very excited about him. When we look at defensive coordinator Chris O'Leary, yes, I threw him in after the STs, but, you know, it is what it is. I think that he's going to run a similar defense to Jesse Minter. I think you're going to see a lot of success from that. I think you're also going to see a lot of success and positive energy that we've been hearing about through OTAs and minicamp, and I think that that is ultimately going to help push this Chargers defense forward. Don't be shocked if you see some regression early on, but by the end of the year, you see that defense really pick it up. Subscribe to the channel. Don't miss out on anything that we've got going on here on the channel. I really appreciate all of you guys coming in, hanging out with us. It's a lot of fun. Have a happy and safe 4th of July. Make sure, as always, that you bolt up.